In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how in Adobe Illustrator and Vector software you can do what they call an image trace or a live trace. I can take a pixel object, a photograph or something like that, and I can turn it into vector software by doing what they call an image trace. Sometimes it's referred to as live trace. The higher quality photo you have, the better the trace is going to be. So if it's something that's really low resolution and pixelated looking, it's not going to trace too well. To do an image trace, you just click on the image and you'll see right up here in your top menu that it immediately gives you the image trace feature. This little arrow right between image trace and mask gives us the selections of how I want to trace this. The less colors you use, the cheaper the graphic is going to wind up looking. And I'll show you a couple of examples. So for example, if I were to select and image trace this into 3 colors, the quality deteriorates. If you don't like the trace that you use, you just hit Apple Z or Command Z and it goes back to your original. If I do, for example, say sketched art, again, it turns it into a nice kind of graphic, but it misses out a lot of details. The higher the resolution of the image, and of course the higher the colors that you're asking it to trace out, the better quality of a graphic that you can wind up creating. And again, it's never going to be perfect. You can see that right in here it starts losing some of the details of the letters in Peanut Caramel Bar. If I select high fidelity photo, which is one of the higher settings that you can go with it, you can see that now it gives me some of those counters, but it still loses some in the end. Regardless of how you do the trace, once you've done the trace, you have to click the word expand, and now it turns it into graphics. And if it's an image that you've placed, like from a scan or from the web, as you can see here, it creates a gigantic bounding box. Literally, there's a white background behind here. If I select the direct select tool, you can see that I can select the bounding box and I could change it to whatever color that I want. More often than not, though, we delete these bounding boxes because we just want the graphic itself. So as you can see, when I select, I have the whole graphic. To kind of show you, now there's no bounding box to it. But this is how you do image trace and convert images that you place into Illustrator into vector graphics in Illustrator.